I'm gonna have you throw up your Chrome extensions. Okay. Try and pull this up real quick so we have it ready to go. There we go. Perfect. So that should be set for Wi-Fi. And you should have an extended connection. All right, I just want to make sure we're running fast enough because we're going to be running some applications today. And we're going to go through how these work, and then we're going to go through the mining process. We're also going to cover how to list the products itself, how to scale Amazon, and how to add an ASIN number to our seller profile so we can have it listed. Okay. So a lot of exciting stuff. We'll go through a step-by-step process. The very first thing that I want you to do is to open up a separate tab in your internet. We're going to go on Google, and you're going to type in Chrome Web Store. And we're going to click on this very first top one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Already there.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it. Okay, so our very first ones, so you can even see what the icons are. I'll go ahead and slide this down just a little bit. We're going to type in cashback watch. So just like this. That's what that's going to look like.
Okay, so it's the first one, yeah.
Yep. And it'll be this one right here.
Yeah.
All right. The next one we're going to type in is price blink. And it'll also be the first one. And the next one we're going to come into will be this little, it'll look like this little icon right here. It's a prime icon, and we're going to type in prime filter. And it'll be this one right here, AMZ prime filter.
Okay.
Awesome. Right, our next one we are going to come into is going to look like this icon up here. This little blue fist.
Okay.
It's called DS Amazon Quick View. And it'll be this top one right here.
Perfect.
Now, there is one more additional one that will do the math for you. They took it down for a little while, but they finally put it back up. The problem that I have with it is now, instead of it being a one-time fee, they charge monthly for it. So if you want to use it, you can, or you can keep a calculator by you to do the math. Sometimes it's a lot more efficient to use it, but it's called Amazon without fees. And what this does is when we go through the mining process, next to the total, it'll already.
The mining process?
What's that?
I was meaning to ask you what is the mining process?
We haven't got there yet.
Okay. I don't know if I should know by now or not.
It's the scaling process that we go through Amazon to find profitable items.
Oh.
So like we're essentially mining products.
Okay. And this is like a calculator you're saying?
Yes. So what it will do is it will automatically next to the price bring up our that's weird. I think one of my things got dropped. It'll automatically bring up the cost after the 15% is taken away. So Amazon collects their 15% like all other seller profiles out there. So if something is scaled for $39.99, it'll tell us next to it what the cost would be after they take their 15% rather than typing in every single product that we look at.
Okay.
No. See where I'm at real fast. Not really sure why. go. All right. So back on. That is something that I want you to maybe think about if you want to keep it in your back pocket. It's super effective. It helps a lot. But if you don't want to and you don't mind typing it in, you don't have to pay the fee. Entirely up to you. So we're going to move over to our new tab. And we're going to slide this over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up Amazon.com. So we should have our first tab open with our seller profile. We'll have our second tab open with Amazon.com. And we will also have a third tab open with Walmart.com. Okay. So the very first thing I want to cover with you is cashback. Have you ever heard of cashback application?
No, I haven't heard of any of these.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. So cashback was designed for online shoppers. It's almost like couponing. It's stored. It's free money. I call it bonus money. I don't ever like you to think of it as profit margin included. This is something that you're going to have stored in your back pocket for once you start eventually making sales. That way, 4 or 5 months down the road, you have an extra like bonus check of like $5-6 grand that you can cash. It's sick. If you can hold on to it longer and you want to wait till like around like the holiday time, ask for it like the end of October if you're going to be making sales now, and then use it as Christmas money.
Oh, so it's kind of like you get points or something for buying, or
you'll collect a percentage off each item. So just for doing your job in mining and selling products and shipping them out to people, you're literally going to be clicking this button, and it's going to give you a percentage of every sale. So it'll collect in like a back piggy bank. So the reason I had you put into Cashback Watch is there's a variety of different cashback sites. The effectiveness of having Cashback Watch is every site that you plug into, I'll be able to click into this icon up here, which is the Cashback Watch app, which should be up in your plugins for Google Chrome now that we've downloaded it. We're going to click on it, and it's going to give us this drop bar right here. And we're obviously on Walmart, just regular Walmart, no Walmart Mexico. So we click into here, and then from here, and these update daily, it'll tell me from the highest to lowest for what gives me the best cashback rates. So anything that I order off of Walmart.com right now, if I order from Ebates, Be Frugal, Giving Assistant, Top Cashback, all these sites, as long as I click that button before I order, I'll get 5% of the sale stored in a back piggy bank. Every single order. Now, I will tell you, these are not designed for drop shippers. They're not. There's nothing against doing them. All they're ever going to do is if they catch on to it is they won't add it to the account. Now, one of the things that I like to use, if you look up in the very top, I keep Ebates stored because I personally love Ebates. I know a lot of other people don't because it's been around for so long. They offer the lowest rates. The only difference that I have with Ebates is 99% of the time that I click that button and I buy something, it goes through. And I would rather do that and take almost 100% guarantee that I'm going to get the money than versus a 50-50 shot with a higher percentage.
okay,
Make sense?
yeah,
So I wouldn't go downloading a ton of these. If you want to sign up for a few of them, cool. That way you're just not, fishing around too much. But if you just keep storing it in the back, you will have a large amount of income to be able to just to store in one big check that's actually not taxable. You could cash it in your personal bank. Doesn't have to go into your business. It's sick. So sick.
Yeah.
So we'll click into that. We'll go ahead and close that down, and we'll move into the rest of the plugins. So I'm going to have you move over to Amazon.com with me. So I'm going to slide this over. And this is the mothership right here. This is where we operate. This is where we do all of our work. We have two different categories, two drop downs for different categories rather. The very first one, we're going to click all, and it's going to show us all of our different departments. And this is where it's really, really awesome because scrolling through here, it's going to break down all these huge categories that have thousands and thousands of subcategories. Now, this is not the only thing that we have to choose from in these categories. We also have a different drop bar over here with these 3 lines. Same thing. So if I click into this, sorry, new computer's a little touchy. Scroll down, same thing. Different categories with more subcategories. It's an endless supply. So note that when we start mining and you start scaling and you do start to go on your own, whether you reflect on these videos or you have to contact me back, there's over 94 million products listed on Amazon. The reason why this cannot get saturated is because there's 94 million products on Amazon and adding. It just continues to keep growing. It's like a powerhouse that doesn't stop. It only takes 4 to 5 profitable items that are really hitting to generate a 6-figure store. That's it. But to find those 4 or 5 items, you also have to mine through 94 million products. It can take time, or it might not. I mean, you could be like a couple of the people that you've seen me throw up in my story before. I mean, Mikey, he hit a hot product that literally 2 hours into after we were done training. Dude's a monster. He's blowing it up right now. He just had his first $4,000 day yesterday, and he's only been doing this a month.
Wow.
Sick. So,
Cool. Yeah.
time. If it doesn't come right away, it will come. You just got to stay consistent. I promise. Rome wasn't built overnight, and I know you've heard that 100 times. But a lot of money to be made on here. $1 trillion company. And there's a reason it's $1 trillion company. So many people coming to buy, and you could be one of the people that they're buying from. So it's kind of beautiful. So I want to click into a very first category. We're going to break down the rest of these plugins and kind of show you how the sifting process, how this helps. It is like monumentally helpful in the difference of how I was doing this when I first started. Kind of bypassing having the assistance of this, because it literally eliminated hours of time once I was able to get my hands on these. It will help you a lot. And another reason why I talked to you about the Amazon without fees, because just eliminating the calculator is just, again, so convenient. So convenient. So we'll click into a category. I clicked into beauty and personal care, and I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to click the search bar. Now, real quick, before we go through and start clicking through all these things, I want to run one quick thing by you. Using your brain to think of certain products that have multiple different variations of that product, and I will break down what that means, to find certain niches, to look for gold, will save you so much time than clicking through this category to get to another category, to get to another category, to get to another category. So an example that I like to use for this is, if we were to click into sports and outdoor, I would then have to click into team sports. I would then have to click into sports and outdoor team sports. From there, I could click into the variations of whether it's basketball, football, baseball, softball, yada yada, right? I'm getting click deep. At this point, I'm like 4 or 5 in. If I get to baseball, there's anywhere from like catcher's mitts, baseball mitts, shin guards. You'll have helmets, and then baseball bats. Now, the best thing about bats is that is a product that is a diverse product. Diverse products in the sense that there are baseball bats that are different sizes, different weights. There are wiffle ball bats. There are softball bats. There are wooden bats. There are fucking plastic bats. There is a bat for everything. All I had to do was niche in bat. And if I typed in bat, it would pop up literally thousands of products now in a baseball category, solely niched down to one type of product. So I took 100,000 pages and broke it down to 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
It would be so much faster for me to find gold. And I clicked into health and beauty. Obviously, you're a female, so I feel like this would be a little bit more credited to you. I don't know shit about this product, but I do know that these products sell. They do.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to take care of themselves. So this might be something in your niche that you might be able to think of a product like that, and it would help you a lot. So it's something to keep in the back of your mind. Now, after saying all that, I know that was a mouthful. Sitting here from hours and clicking through shit, your brain's going to turn to mush. It happens. It just happens.
I actually kind of tried doing that already, and
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot sometimes. And I highly, highly, highly suggest you set a timer on your phone. 2 hours. Get up, take like a 3 or 4 minute walk, close out, especially if you haven't hit and you haven't found any kind of gold, close out of it, come back and open it up and restart from a different part. Do not pick back up where you left off. I have literally gone like 8, 9 hours straight and didn't pay attention to the time. And I want to throw my computer to the fucking wall. I didn't know why I was doing this. I was going crazy. And it's just part of the game. Like, you're trading physical labor for mental. And sometimes mental is so much more freaking harder because it just starts to screw with you and it will get with you. But when you hit those products and that notification starts to go off in that application and you're making money before you wake up and get out of bed, you realize real quick why you put all that work and effort in. It's nice.
Yeah.
It is very, very nice. All right, so food for thought. I want you to be able to keep that in the back of your mind. So niching products. Try to think of things, even through the day, if it's just something that comes to you, type it in your notes on your phone so you know what to come back and look to when you get back on Amazon. And when you start getting into the habit of that, it's nice because now it's not really like you're working, but you have stored information for what you can come back to when you do work.
Yeah. Well, because a long time ago when I was watching other videos, I had found someone was saying about this one extension that, I forget which one is it? Let me see. The Amazon Scout Pro. I don't know, and I paid for that one. And that one, like, because when I'm going throughout my day, I'll think of things and I'm like, oh, okay, I've never thought about that, but it's selling, in the stores or something, and I look it up on here and it'll tell me its own rank. I don't know how good it is if figuring out like because it'll say, I think it's like a score it'll give it from 1 to 10, and it'll tell me like different.
Typically, how it works, it's broke down. Now again, there are rankings that are literally in like millions, but that goes with the sense of there being that 94 million products listed. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's ever going to get over 2-3 million or whatever the ranking is, because it goes based off the category itself. And there might only be like 3 or 4 million products in a category. That sounds crazy saying there's only 3 or 4 million, right? But the turnaround to that is there are hotspots for what you want to look for. Anything that's ranked 100,000 and lower is selling. And that's not to say that things that are ranked at 150,000 aren't selling. They're just not selling as often. You still would sell a few of those a week. That would happen. But if you want something to sell frequently and you want to look for gold, 100,000 and down. And once you get to that 75,000 and down, like you're getting hot, you get to 50,000, you're getting into like fire. And if you ever strike anything that's under like 30,000, 25,000, good luck keeping it on the shelves. That bitch is going to fly off. That ringtone's going to go off a lot. And it's nice because it's consistent money, but we have to make sure that we have a good plug for it is all. And we'll go through that today. So we're going to click into some of these over on the left side. The very first one that we're going to click into, let's go with skincare. And it's going to populate some more subcategories. And if you've been mining before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll come down into this. So I got all these on the side, and then I got these that are coming up. And I guess we'll click into, let's click into, I don't know anything about that. Let's go with body. Body seems good. Now, I've got sets and kits, moisturizers, cleansers, scrubs, and body treatments. What do you think, if you were to use your background knowledge based on this, what has higher price ranges for this stuff?
Probably the sets and kits. Okay. Since there's a lot of things in it, I would think it's higher.
So we'll go ahead and click into that. And I will ask you to, through this, because I want you to be a part of it. Your learning will pick up more with it. If you're using your brain to go into it, you're more into it rather than me lecturing you through it. I hate learning like that. That's why I like doing this hands-on. It's so much better. So the very first plugin that we have, if you pay attention to the top of the drop bar, you should have something similar on your page. Unless you're just following along with me, this is what it's going to look like. You have this, and this is the Amazon Prime filter, and it helps. Now, as a third-party seller, especially drop shipping, we're only buying one unit at a time. People that are Prime and FBA, they have to ship quantities out to Amazon, and they're storing them in the warehouse, which means they're not buying one unit at a time. They're buying bulk inventory. So the chances are, because they're buying bulk inventory, they're getting them at cheaper costs. But in the return, they also have to buy, 500,000, 2,000 products at a time. we don't have that money to sit on, or we don't think that that's the smartest way of selling, which I don't want to sit on that money in hopes that I'm going to sell all those products. It doesn't make sense to me. So I am going to get rid of the ones with prime label. I'm going to get rid of the ones with prime sellers. I'm going to get rid of the ones sold by Amazon because I know we're not going to beat them. And then I'm going to get rid of the sponsored products. So all 4 on the top, I'm going to remove. And then from here, I'll be able to refresh my page. Oh. It did not stick. And it could be just because I have a share screen up. Bear with me for 1 second. So I'll re-click. Give it a chance to load. There we go. And I'm going to scroll from here. All right. Now, no matter what you click into, Amazon's changed its page layout more times than I can count on 2 hands, even since I've started. So their layout, obviously they want to be lucrative with the people that are into Amazon itself, people that are higher sellers, ranked and have created more accountability and credibility, rather, with Amazon itself. So it's going to come into one thing that's called lightning deals, which are things that are either claimed, sold, whatever it is, based off of whatever the niche is. Even sometimes for holidays, like you have some Mother's Day's gifts that are listed in here, like gift baskets. You're going to have things that are broke down into best sellers. They're all prime, go figure. And it doesn't matter when we fill out this filter or not. The type rated we're going to have to work through, recommended. It's going to have a most wished for, top picked for you at some point when we get down to it. So all these are what's called sponsored. And we have to get through Amazon throwing this stuff in your face before we get down to what's called the catalog. This is the catalog. The catalog is where we sift and where we mine. This is what we want to get into. So this very first page, one of the things that you were talking about was a ranking system. And this is what another application does for us. So the old way we would have to do this is there would be 50 different products on a page, right? And we'd have to click into each individual product. And we'd have to scroll down until we get to the product details, which is right down here. Every single product on the page, just so we could get down to where the Amazon bestsellers rank is to see what it's ranked, to see if it would even be worth selling. Every product. It gets to be a lot when you're working and looking through thousands and thousands of product to find that one. So what we do is we take back step, right? What that application did for us, which you didn't realize yet, but you're going to, and I think this reset on us again. So I'm going to click back into these really fast. We are on the first page. So there's a lot more loaded than there would be the second. Come on. Work with me. First Skype, now this. I thought we had it there for a second. All right, I'll wait for that to pop back up. But we will scroll back down real quick, and we're going to see if we can't find that product again really fast. Well, there's a ton in here. There it is. So we'll get rid of these again. And I'm going to scroll back down. And then I'm going to have this pop back up, and there's that gift basket. That product ranking, now that we displayed or we popped up that application it's currently running, instead of having to click through it, I can literally just stay on this page, and now next to in beauty and personal care, underneath the name, I will have a displayed ranking that's already in front of my face without having to click into the product.
And what app was this, or?
The relaxing, the bath gift set for women. Do you see it? The ranking itself is 3,025. You see it?
Okay. It's because mine is, I don't know why my computer's going slow today.
Oh, is it not? Can you see it on your side?
I can see what you're doing, but I'm trying to mimic it, and it's hard.
Gotcha. It could be because you're screen sharing right now, like over onto my computer, and we're running a video call. That's a lot to be running on a computer and trying to run plugins all at the same time. It's a lot, but
so they have to come up automatically.
It'll run a lot faster. Sorry about that. It'll run a lot faster when we make our way out of the video call and you start doing this yourself.
But I don't have to press anything for that to start happening, right?
Just these 4 up on the top. Do you mean the ranking? The ranking's already running now that we got the extension plugged in.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that you would have to click is just these 4 top ones.
Okay.
To get rid of the prime. Okay. And then we'll come back down. So here we are. So this is ranked 3000, which means it's hot. As this gift basket itself, I don't know if this is something that somebody put together and this is their own personal item, but it doesn't mean that we can't look. A couple things that we want to look for when we were talking in the second session is that we don't want to ever list against whoever the person is that makes the product. The chances are, because this is not in buy box, the person that makes this product is probably not the person selling it. It's not. This is Fly Industries, and this is made by Deluxe Spa. So either they have this listed in a weird way, and it's not populating through one of the other applications that we're going to go through. But no matter the fact, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look through it and just see if we can find it anywhere else. So I want to copy this. And this is pretty broad, actually, now that I'm looking at the title. A lavender and rosemary aromatherapy basket at home could be like a variation of a lot anywhere else. We'll see if we can break this down. And I might actually even throw it in Google to see if we come up with something. I will also add in, I think it said it was 13. So it was a set of 13. Yeah, 13 pack. So we'll see if we can't add that in and maybe populate similar results. Now, something else that might help us too. It's not in the name, but we also know that it's by Deluxe Spa. So if we throw that in for searching it, it also might help populate what we're looking for. Here we go. See a lot on Amazon. Now, this is not typically a site that we go through, MarthaStewart.com. That's not even the same product, so not to worry. We're not going to go through that anyway. Just real quick, what was this listed for? This was listed for $44.99. I have found it here for $33.98. Now, the fact that they go through PayPal and this is an accredited site, I know that no matter what happens on the back end, whether this be a site that I recommend you to go through, which this is not somebody that we typically use, we try to stick to Walmart, Home Depot, which are both stores that you can get tax exemption through, which is also increased profit margins. Like, for example, if you were to be in my state, the state of Florida right now, and you were tax exempt, you would save an additional 7% because there is no 7% state tax actually on the item. So we would add that to the overall percentage. That's how much more your profit margin would be increased. You wouldn't have to worry about that being tacked on. And that would be something that goes accredited in now that you have a business account. You're able to do that as online retail. So scroll down and we'll see what they have as far as shipping. And it might take a little front work going through some of these sites. A lot of them will tell you on the front page too if there's an added shipping cost. Let's see if we can't see it somewhere on here. It's not. So we're going to scroll back up. I've added one to cart, and I'm going to go to view cart and check out. Now, I'm not going to submit any of my information into this. I just want to see it is free shipping. So it only took one click to get on the next screen to see if this would be. So this is a product that's in the 3000s. We don't know what their quantity is, but one quick way to find out, we're going to back up one more time, is to check what the add to cart total is. So you see how this isn't giving us a drop down bar? If I were to go in and type in 20 and click add to cart, just out of curiosity, they have 20 in stock because I just added 20 to my cart. So if I go through with an additional one, so I know that they have over 21 in stock just off this site. I shoot with 20 as a basis number. And when we go to list the products themselves, if we were going to actually put this in and use it as a product to sell, I would only list half at a time. I don't know how many other people across the fucking large internet that are ordering this product, but I know that if I say half, then it's a safe bet that I'd be able to order out those products once they're sold for those 10. And then once those 10 are actually ordered and I come back here and I type in 20 again, then I know that I can go list another 10. Now, do you remember how quick it was too when we went to manage inventory? You just switch those numbers really, really fast. Yeah. You can do that from a mobile app if you're ever out. It takes literally seconds. Just convenient. It's very, very convenient, and it's an easy way to stay on top of your quantity. Now, I just want to click over really fast, and we'll get back into another one of those plugins. But now that we know that this item is actually profitable, we're going to jump ahead just a little bit. And we're going to talk about what's called an ASIN number. So there's a couple different places that we can find this. And one of the places that we can actually find it, if you scroll down to the bottom, is right here in product details. ASIN number is the first number that pops up. It starts with a B. This is our personal listing barcode. This is what we're going to be using, is looking for ASINs. There's another place to do it to where you don't have to scroll down to the very bottom to find it. So we're at the very, very top. It is in the very top of the web address. It's in between two backslashes. I can double click. I don't have to highlight it, and it'll highlight it for me. Efficient, right?
Yeah.
So from here, I'm going to copy the ASIN number. I'm going to come over to Amazon. We're going to drop into the catalog. We're going to click Add Products, and we're going to drop down into List the Product. And we'll paste this. Now it's going to bring us to this screen. We're going to click down on Listing Limitations Apply, and then our new condition, Sell Yours, will pop up right here.
Okay.
Right? Now again, we know going forward into this, I'm not going to directly tell you to list them. Reason why. You can try a couple and you'll definitely you'll get away with being able to sell a couple of them, but because this is a third-party site and I don't know them for credibility, I don't want you to go list a bunch of bulk. I know that you can get away with selling a couple of them, and it would be good to get the credibility in your site. So if you want to take it, go ahead and take it. I don't mind. I want you to keep in mind that there's only one other person selling this item. So instead of trying to beat him, I know that if I go type in $44.99, that I'll be the seller that's still above him. So what I mean by that is if I click over into this again and I click into available for these sellers and someone wants this basket, I'll be the seller on top of this because I was the newest listed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So no point in dropping the cost. Now, if there's a bunch of sellers that are on it and they've got big credibility that's already with the product, sometimes what I would like to teach you to do is called penny dropping. Now, you will see some assholes that come in here and they'll drop it $1, $2, sometimes $5. You're only diminishing your own profit, and they are too. If it's already selling, you don't have to drop it multiple dollars to get it to sell more. It's not going to make it sell more. People are already buying it. That's not changing. So there's no point in taking money out of your own pocket. It doesn't make any sense. So we'll come up again into Add Offer Info. The very first thing that we are going to click before we even type in this price is this top right corner, and I want you to write this down. Advanced View. Now we're going to come over and you're going to see the price, the $44.99, right? That's what we matched. We know that there's a 0 shipping inclusive to this. We always want to keep our shipping as 0, always. It's like a mental thing. I don't know why. But when you do come into it, people would much rather spend $1 extra on the product than they would $2, $3, $4 in shipping, just because it's like this sense that they're still getting something for free. I don't know the analytics on that or why it works the way that it is. All it is you sell more. So something to keep in the back of your head. So our quantity we had talked about. If I type in 20, then how many would I list? 10. So we'll type in 10. And we're going to come down to handling time. Now, why advanced view is very, very important. And it might happen once to you. Just know that you can go delete it, come back and relist it if need be, or edit it. If you don't click advanced view, then you don't get a handling time. And if you don't input a handling time and someone buys one from you, then you are expected to ship it out the very next day. And if it's not shipped out the next day and you don't have a tracking number for it, you already have a late shipment marked on your profile. Screwed. Amazon's thorough. Make sure you click that button. We're going to throw in a 4. What that 4 does is gives us the 4 processing days that we had spoke of. So now I have time from the time that a buyer buys a product from my store. I now have 4 days to accumulate a tracking number, mark it as shipped, and submit the tracking number through Amazon. Gives me a window. Why I like that window? Multiple different variations of reasons. If for whatever reason anything goes sideways and I have to find it somewhere else, it gives me time. Give me just one moment. I apologize. Back where we were. So that handling time. So we have the 4 days, obviously, to accumulate the tracking number. If anything does, again, go sideways, we need more time to be able to find the product itself. We'll be able to do so. Also, it's like a back-end, like helpful side. It's almost like you're stating it's going to be here, but now you're over-delivering if it comes early, which almost puts you in potential for a positive review because now people are expecting it to receive on this date, but they're getting it 4 or 5 days early. It's going to turn out positive on your account. So it helps a lot. Pulling teeth is just as equivalent as trying to get seller feedback on this damn site. I'd tell you I don't know why, but I really do know exactly why. It's just weird. It's like a cognitive thing. It's weird for people to have a positive outlook and wanting to go leave a positive review versus like they have a negative experience. Now they feel like they have something that they need to go say. Does that make sense? It's like and whether you rewatch this again, I just want to throw it back at you. There's like almost like 100% guarantee that you've never bought anything yourself and had a positive experience and were like, hey, I'm going to go leave a positive review. I'm so guilty of it myself. Yeah. It's just, so you can't get mad at people. Sometimes it takes that reminder or that phone call that we spoke of or sending them a templated message is just asking for that seller feedback because the credibility is crucial. Yeah. It's huge. So our next field, we're going to come down. We're just going to check, make sure that condition is marked at new. Okay. Now the fulfillment channel, this should never ever like change. It's just something I want you to pay attention to. Make sure it's marked that you want to be the person that ships it. Okay. Now from here, we're going to click save and finish. And boom. We now have a product listed. It's that simple.
Okay.
Right?
So then all of the description and all of that information that people see when they go on that page has already been added to it?
Already added.
Oh, okay.
We now become the additional seller on the listing that's already provided. So the benefit to also doing this way, you are solely responsible if you create an ad and like this listing itself. So I can explain this and it make a little bit more sense. So we'll go back out to this page really, really fast. And now I'm back on this main page that somebody else created. It's got 5 stars, 7 customer reviews. That's awesome. If anything were to happen based off of this ad isn't exactly what it's listed as, yada yada yada, you were not the seller that created it. You joined it because you have this product itself. Any of the information, accountability, or whatever, whether there was authorization put into it, it'll be put off to whoever actually created this ad. So no responsibility is put onto you unless a manufacturer would jump on and ask you to get off of it themselves. That would be the only way that anything would come back. But this just kind of saves your ass. Also saves time because now you don't have to go type all this stuff in and get the accredited information. It's super, super efficient. Now, mind you, we found this product really, really quick. Very quick. Sometimes you will go hours again, and I have gone like literally 7, 8, 9, fucking sometimes even 10 hours without finding one product, and it'll make you go crazy. There will be other times that you get on here in 20, 25 minutes and you might find 2 or 3 or 4 products. You just have to stay consistent and keep your mind healthy and straight. That's why I tell you to set that timer. It will save your ass. And I feel like I tell a lot of people that and it goes in one ear and out the other, but it's something I really want you to try. For whatever reason, people are like, oh, I took college courses and I studied for X amount. I don't care. When it comes to your money and it's your business and staring at the screen, it will literally drive you crazy when you're not finding shit. Makes you feel like you're wasting time. It just is what it is. Cool?
Yep, got it.
All right. Now, real quick, how I want to run this play. Now, we've already gone through these plugins and how that issue works. The other plugin that I wanted to go through with you, we don't have it on this computer. But that Amazon without fees, where this red $44.99 is, you see it? There will be a little square box that's right next to it. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'll just type in the math real fast on my calculator. And it would tell me that for $44.99, 15%, $6.44. So I would have to sell this product or buy this product cheaper than $38.99 to generate a profit. We obviously found it cheaper than $38.99. So the turnover after Amazon takes their percentage, which leaves us with, what was that? $33.98. So we would make $5 off this product, inclusive to whatever cash back that we get. And then on top of the $33 that we would spend, that would leave us with a this is not, it's driving me nuts. A little over 16% profit margin, which is not bad, especially at a seller ranking for 3,000. Now, additional to this, I'm just curious if we clicked into the cashback watch. Now, again, I don't want you to accredit to this, but this is a bonus to put back in your back pocket. That's rare. Very rare. I wonder how accurate that is. If I click into eBay, it's really, really fast. And this is how fast it accumulates and it builds up. So I just cashed out this last check. And I generally shop off of eBay, which is something else that we're going to walk through because there's a way to do it on eBay and a way not to do it on eBay. I already have another additional $925 built up.
Yeah.
So it accumulates that bonus check going through it. It's a good little percentage to pop up. That's not the reason why I loaded that. I loaded that to see if it was going to give us a profit percentage on this site, but it's not, which sucks. Yeah, it sucks. But again, it's a bonus. So I don't want you to bank on it. Still though, relatively decent profit margin. So I want you to be able to put that in. Now this could also be a person too that might be worth reaching out to them and just seeing if you become a private distributor for them. Because if they'll send the products out for you, there's a chance that if you're pushing out quantity, they'll still give you a cheaper rate.
Okay.
Even if it was setting up, hey, I'm a standardized store. I'm not trying to order products from you at a set individual rate, but set up a business account with you, and then that's how you get your foot in the door. And then you explain to them that you do sell on e-commerce and that you can provide all the information if need be to be able to send the products out. But they would have a recurring customer at set quantities. So you'd sell 10 to 15 a day. Would you be able to meet the demand? No, they're doing the same thing you are. They're selling products. They want to make money off sold products. They're not going to deter away unless they're against drop shipping, which is why we don't go through some third-party sites. But again, getting away with just a few of these is not going to kill you. It's not. That won't happen. But if you do get to the point where it's like 15, 20, and they're not about it, they're going to catch on because the billing information is not going to match the shipping information for 15 different orders. It doesn't mean that it's going to always be that way, though. Again, especially with big sites, Walmart, Home Depot, Hayneedle, Wayfair runs a lot of special deals, but sometimes you have to remove those items relatively quick because those deals only last like 5-6 days. And the turnaround to that, some of the markups for the profitability in Wayfair are huge, especially when you're picking up couches that are 50% off. It's nice. Very, very nice. So I want to click over and I want to go through one more thing with you. Usually we go through listing a product last, so it's kind of throwing me off my element a little bit, but I didn't expect to hit a product so quick. So that's awesome that we found one. Super dope. So
you would be for every single product you sell, you would have to do it like add to cart for each person.
You broke up really, really bad. You might have to repeat that.
Say you sold 10, that means you have separate orders, right?
Yep, 10 separate orders. You would do 10 separate orders.
It's gonna say that it's coming from this place, right? Patients, whatever.
So what I would do, and they can be your distributor. It doesn't matter. If anybody messages you and you say, yes, I work with them, I'm selling on Amazon, that's fine. Well, why is your product cheaper or more expensive than it is sold through them themselves? Well, it cost me 15% of the item to even sell it on Amazon. I have to make up for the cost. It's okay to be honest. Are you actually a distributor for them? No, you're not really wholesaling through them, but they are providing the product, so you're not lying. And it's very applicable when you get to the very end just to click gift receipt. So they'll never see the cost of what actually is going out. They would actually have to physically go look. And if they ever question it, then that's exactly what you would say. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to click back over into this. I'm going to exit out of this. I'm going to pull up Walmart. And I'm going to trade out Walmart for eBay. Now, why I pull up eBay? eBay is really, really funny because eBay does not work anything like this one all the way out to the end. eBay doesn't work anything like Amazon. Amazon, we'd have multiple sellers on an item. If you've been mining, you already know that. But I want to scroll down until we get into a product that's got some on there. That way I can just physically display it for you if you want to come back to the video so you know what I'm talking about. We will click into load for me. Come on. So we'll click into, this one's got quite a few lists or quite a few reviews on it. So if I scroll down, yeah, see, this one doesn't even have a ton, but it will give an idea. So this same product, I've got 2 listed sellers on it, 2 different sellers. You see it? And just like the other product, you're going to be added onto the other product once you list it. So you'll be the second seller and you'll be the one above the first one. What this does, oh, I forgot about Price Blink. We'll go over that in just a second. What this does is it separates the difference between how Amazon and eBay's layout works. See, eBay is individual cells, listed by the seller itself. So I might see 50 of the same listings. Well, they're all individualized by the same seller. Whereas opposed to Amazon, I'll see the one listing and there'll be multiple sellers on the listing. Vice versa. So how we look through the people that you can actually buy through on eBay is a totally different question. The cool thing about finding this product on here, whether we list it or not, is I know it's on eBay because of PriceBlink. Now, what PriceBlink will do for us, and I don't want you to rely on this plugin, I only throw you as a bonus. I sometimes don't even have people download this because people get reliant on it. And I'm going to tell you why I actually don't want you to keep it in your bar. Whether you want to or not, totally cool. Sometimes when people rely on software, especially something like this is only ran off of what's called Google keywords. Google keywords. You know anything about Google keywords? How they work? Okay. Exactly how this listing is typed in: Mother's Day gift baskets, Green Candy, yada 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 yada. Keywords are typed in a certain manner to where it's going to populate certain listings. What PriceBlink is doing is it's automatically searching Google for how this is typed in exactly. Now, if me and you were actually going to list this product and we actually had it in our possession, I could look at this and I could probably reword this and list it a totally different way. Which means if I go search in Google, it's not going to be listed exactly like this. If I actually put in the manual time and I went and looked and searched for it, I might find it cheaper somewhere else than what PriceBlink actually pops up. If everybody's running software and analytics like this and they're only generating off the same things, the more profitable items are still out there. It just takes actually being a person to go through and look for them. Right?
So it's just better to Google your own self. Yeah.
Much better. Much better. We will go ahead and use it so you can see how it works. I also see it on Walmart, by the way, $27.99, but it's got the $5 shipping and the $231 in tax that we had talked about, which you become tax exempt for. We'll click into eBay. And I'm going to drop this one since it's already populated for this. Now, had this Prime guy not been on here, this would have been a great product, but probably exactly where this guy was drop shipping it from. This guy's a drop shipper. I know that because there's 2 days shipping at checkout that he can choose for. It's fast and free under here, which means it will be delivered within the 2-day window. Once its actual processing time hits, the weekend is excluded.
Okay.
So we click into this.
So for the processing time, the weekend is excluded. Is that what you said?
It is if it lands on a ship day, you'll never have to ship on a Saturday or Sunday. It'll be the following Monday.
Oh, okay. So if it's like 4 days, if they ordered it on Thursday, I would have until Tuesday the following week.
Then it would still follow up as processing days. It's when your processing day actually lands on a Saturday or Sunday, it'll be moved to the following Monday. So it buys you days. Does that make sense? Because it's not a business day.
Yeah.
So like if I were to have it on Wednesday, right? And my 4th day would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's now on Sunday. I'm supposed to ship it on Sunday. Because it's Sunday, I can actually ship it on Monday because that's the following business day. It gives me 5 days now.
Oh, okay. So if it falls on the weekend, it's just, okay. That makes
extended.
sense.
It's pushed off. So I'm in here, see what I have. And the very first thing that I'm going to click into when I'm in eBay is I'm going to check to see how many reviews and what the score is. 42,000 is relatively high. I'm going to click into them and I want to see what their negative reviews are. And I'm going to make it very, very, very clear what you don't want clicking through negative reviews. Because as a seller, and sometimes you'll run into this yourself, you have nothing to do with how the product is manufactured. If they say something to you and they're complaining because they ordered a blue shirt and it looks black to them, that has nothing to do with the seller. Nothing. Now, if we run into a problem like, well, this actual, there we go. Item never came, seller refused to help. That is a no. Shipped directly from Amazon, so we know that he's obviously a drop shipper. Bottle was opened or used or tampered with. All this is not great. We don't want any of this. Now, if we see a negative review based off of what I just told you, or it's a problem with the product, again, we have nothing to do with that. But when shit is not showing up, or sellers are unresponsive, or you never got a tracking number, or it arrived 2 weeks late, that is not somebody that we want to work with. I don't care what the profit margin is. It's not worth you rolling the dice and losing your account. Difference of good negative reviews that you are okay to roll with and the bad negative reviews that we definitely want to stay away from. This screams run. And by the way, all these negative reviews, do you see how many during the past month there are?
Yeah.
A lot. A whole lot, which makes me wonder if some of these positive reviews were bought, which is very easy to happen on eBay. So we'll click over into it just to see if we can point some of these out. Actually, a lot of these look legit, not gonna lie. Now, just for the positive. Now, what you will see in a lot of these positive reviews that are bought and they look fake, which that's okay. This account's been open for a while. It's been open since January 2017, so it's been up for a couple years. Coming through this, you'll see like these world swirl designs or like shit that doesn't even look like you have it on your keyboard to type in just because eBay doesn't flag that under their analytics. It still counts as a positive review. It's very, very easy to spot out. Super easy to spot out. So know that going forward. You'll be able to tell like whose percentage is off and who's on and what's bought and what's not. I still would stay away from this person though, just because of the nature of what the negative feedback was. I don't like that. And that's something to keep in the back of your mind for eBay. Now to touch base again on a good distributor for you to go back, and I can't push it enough, that Walmart and Home Depot and Hayneedle are always great to go through, and you can become tax exempt through Walmart and Home Depot to save the extra percentage. And I still want you to look that up going into this. That way you can fill out your form with your EIN and you will become tax exempt through them.
And how, well, I guess later on when that part happens, I can worry about that.
What will happen, yeah, when you actually get it and you receive it, know that you can Google the form to actually get it to fill out. You will be approved. You'll be approved for your state and then some other states that are accredited with your state for that form. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll be approved for all 48, and it doesn't mean that you can't get approved for the rest of the lower 48 that we're actually selling in. And I say 48 because we're staying away from Hawaii and Alaska, right? We uncheck those.
Oh.
So, yeah, that leaves us with the other 48 states on the lower half. So, what's that?
I just like tax exempt form or
yes, you'll do Walmart business tax exemption form, and same thing with Home Depot. Now, if you have them in your city, you can physically go in, and I know that you can do this through Home Depot because I just did it through another business that I just went through. I only got through 6. So all the other ones that I went through for the other 42, I literally went in person. I filled out one form in person, let them know that I sell online, had a resale certificate, which will come with what you're doing with your EIN and what you file for because you'll have the credibility to do so. And you only have to fill out one more form, and they'll put you through the rest of them. One trip.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where people buy from. You'll always be tax exempt no matter where you're shipping it.
Yeah.
It's nice, right?
Yeah. And that'd be for other ones, not Walmart or Home Depot.
That will be for both of those, for Walmart and Home Depot.
So it would just be for, so when I look it up, it's just going to be for Arizona?
Essentially, yes, for where you're at, that's what you're going to want to type in. We will type in that Walmart business tax exemption form. And if it'll populate and it asks you what state you're in and you have to fill out Arizona, then yes, it'll pull one for your state itself. States act differently based off of what their tax rules are. That's why all forms aren't accredited to all states. So it just depends on where you are. But either way, you'll get the form to be able to submit and you'll be able to go through. And then if you can make your way in, they'll tell you exactly what steps you need to do or what form you have to fill out to get through the rest. Time to load this back up. And I'm going to make my way back out to Amazon.com just to get back to the front page again. Obviously, the scaling, mining, clicking through the categories, that one's a little bit self-explanatory. We have gone through the plugins. We've listed a product. I want to make sure that you remember the advanced view is huge. Make sure you click on that. To go through our checklist for making sure we fill out our price, 86ing the shipping, so no shipping cost. We fill out. What's that? We're not doing the shipping cost, no shipping cost?
The advanced view. What was that again?
Do you remember the advanced view check that we clicked that bar when we listed the product?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That advanced view, when we check it, the first thing that will come into is the price, then we'll come into the shipping, and then we'll come into the handling time.
Okay.
And then moving forward, that will be all we have to do from there is just submit. Oh, and we'll also have to fill out a quantity, but that one's obviously given. And then we submit, and the product is now added, like we had just gone through for those steps. Remember, when you go through eBay, to always check the seller feedback first before ordering through them and what to look through for those. The sites that I want you to stay through, really, really pushing the Walmart, Home Depot, Hayneedle, and even Wayfair ships out, and they're great. Sites I want you to stay away from, and I want you to write this down. Jet and Target are absolute no-goes. They will cancel your orders and they will not let you know. Yeah, it'll fuck you up. Not great.
Got it.
Not great. And tax exemption forms. I want to make sure that you go through that too, because it's just added money. And when
Can I do that before I start?
you don't have to. You're going to go through a process. They're going to have to accredit it. But when you get the time, yeah, it shouldn't take you too long to fill out. And there's another thing I want you to fill out as well. Go through a couple of those cashbacks and Cashback Watch, and just make accounts for, Ebates or Top Cashback or Be Frugal, any of those, just so you have a few ready to go and you already have accounts so you can start building if you start selling products. Sound good? Okay. What I would like going forward is I want you to take 4 or 5 days, try and mine this, knowing what we just went through, adding products, and I want you to keep your notebook next to you. Write down a series of questions if you have any at all. And we're going to schedule a 4th follow-up to answer those questions so you're completely comfortable to go on your own. But give it some time. Give it some time. Because if we rush it and we jump back on a call in 2 days, that's not enough time for you to go through and accumulate all the questions. You will have more. I promise it's going to happen. Accumulate them. Try and get me like a minimum of 7 to 8. If you can. Even if you have to start making them up. Cool?
Yep.
All right. I am really looking forward to meeting with you again, and I hope that you tell me that you have a lot of products listed.
What was that, sir?
Yeah. I said I'm really looking forward to linking with you again, and I hope that next time we meet, you tell me that you got a lot of products listed.
Yeah.
Actually, I want that first message. When you sell something, if you sell something else before we link back up, you better message me and let me know.
Okay. I was going to ask, can I, do you want me to wait then, or can I just try?
No. If you find something, list it.
Okay.
And also, if you're a little uncomfortable listing it, don't worry about hitting me up to help you walk through it. If you want me to walk you through it, I will. That's not a problem at all. I just want to wait a little to schedule the 4th follow-up because, again, mining through this and going through different categories, you'll have different things pop up. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, very
if
cool.
I have questions, I can just message you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, go kill it. We'll be in touch.
Thanks.
See ya.